We start today with what we are calling the MAGA kiss of death. Romanian Trump has gotten absolutely crushed. Let me explain what's going on. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. It's another one of these far right Trump style candidates who is biting the dust. And this time it's in Romania. We saw it in Canada. We saw it in Australia. And this time, what we have is that George Simion, Romania's sort of answer to Trump, with the same nationalism and the same conspiracies, the same make insert country great again nonsense. He just got wrecked in the presidential election. Now, interestingly, Simeon actually won the first round, but when it came time for the real thing, voters picked the centrist, Nicosor Dan, instead. And the sound you hear is a sound of relief, a sigh of relief coming from the European Union, because Simeon ran on this anti-immigrant, anti-vaccine, anti-European Union rhetoric. And increasingly, to fewer and fewer people's surprise, he spent months whining about voter fraud and alleged Russian interference. But here's the twist: it was real. The story is, it's almost beyond parody. The first round of Romania's election was thrown out over legitimate evidence of Russian meddling. And guess who benefited from that? Simeon, which is, of course, classic, just par for the course at this point in time. So after a redo, voters dumped him for the pro-democracy, pro-EU moderate, just sort of an unremarkable moderate. And just like that, another one of these Trump clones went down. Now, I think that this is a perfect time to zoom out and now realize that this is not specifically about Romania, although good for Romania for stemming this a potentially problematic fiasco. Think back to Canada and think back to Pierre Poilievre, the Canadian conservative leader who tried to out-Trump Trump, realized it was a bad idea, panicked, and said, I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm just doing my own thing. Not only did he end up losing his chance to become the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, of course, with the Liberal Party ultimately winning, but Poilievre also lost his seat in Parliament straight up. Not just he's not going to be Prime Minister, he's not going to be in Parliament at all. He's out, he's done, he's toast. And then meanwhile, former central banker Mark Carney is now leading the Liberal Party. Not a progressive hero, but, you're not going to confuse Mark Carney with a Fox News host made Secretary of Defense. Let's put it that way. We then go to Australia. In Australia, Peter Dutton, their kind of like right-wing Trump-style attack dog and Trump wannabe, he got booted as well. Lost his seat, handed Labor a second term, and his whole campaign was, the typical fear-mongering, culture war bait, parroting American right-wing talking points, and it failed. So now with Canada, Australia, and Romania as examples, we can say, what is going on here? What is going on in this seeming reversal of the global MAGA movement that during Trump's first term, quite frankly, was terrifyingly successful and increasingly powerful? And the idea here is there was a period during which if you screamed loud enough and said fake news enough, you can kind of ride this wave to power. It seems to be running out of gas. This is not a trend that started in 2025. We've seen these waves before. Trump won in 2016, and it kind of rippled globally. Bolsonaro in Brazil, Modi doubling down in India, Orban tightening his grip in Hungary. And it was a sort of golden age of right-wing populist nationalism, where every country suddenly had its own version of fake news and of drain the swamp and of build the wall. But it seems to be wrapping because it's a stale playbook. People have seen what happens when these guys get in power, although the voters in the US in total were not smart enough to go a different direction in November of 2024. It seems as though in many other countries they have figured out this whole Trumpian experiment and Trump light around the world is a very, very bad idea. You've got corruption, you've got incompetence, and basic institutions are getting attacked. And we can have fun with the talking points, build the wall and all that stuff. until the economy tanks, until your healthcare system starts to collapse, until infrastructure crumbles. And as it turns out, most voters don't want a full-time culture war absent actual tangible economic achievement. So people want affordable groceries and they want hospitals that work, schools you can count on, leaders who can form complete sentences here and there. So populism is not dead. As I've said before, populism is an ideology. It's a rhetoric more than anything else. It's not a set of policy ideas, and it still has cachet around the world. But the Trump brand of populist rhetoric, the paranoia, the anti-vax conspiracies, love letters to Kim Jong-un or Putin authoritarians, I'm hopeful that more and more global voters are getting over it. And so the kiss of death of Trump, it's not just metaphorical anymore. It's an electoral kiss of death. I guess that still is sort of a metaphor. It's showing up on ballots tangibly, is the point that I'm trying to make. So when we hear, Trumpism is the future, the model is here, but it's a global model, show them the map, right? Romania, Australia, Canada, these guys are being sent packing, and that's a great thing. Maybe, hopefully, what we are seeing is the beginning of a correction, a slow rejection of the idea that shouting globalist and woke is a substitute for actual policy. If the trend holds, I hope it does, it could reshape global politics in a way we really haven't seen, arguably since the post-World War II order was built, in its total effect. We're going to follow it. 3 countries on the list. Let's see if we can soon add a 4th that says bye-bye to MAGA Trumpism. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get The Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.